I'm Chris Yandak. Today on CYInterview, we have the great pleasure of welcoming show producer, choreographer, dancer, and one of Las Vegas's greatest stars, Jennifer Romas, is back with us on CYInterview today. Jennifer, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm always excited to talk to you, and we're always happy to have you on CYInterview, of course,
Thank you.
Jennifer. So on July 29th, Exxcite, the show opens at the Duomo Theater. Tell me about the new production you are bringing to the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino.
First of all, just super thrilled for this collaboration. We actually start cast rehearsals on the 6th, so I'm getting geared up and ready to go for that. We're going in pretty hard, but it's going to be a fun, rockin', amazing show. We're bringing out all the stops. It's a unique venue. It's an incredible venue, and of course, partnering with Pompeii Entertainment and Damien Costa is incredible. It's an honor to be working with them and getting the show up and running. We are going to be bringing you, that sex and sass as we always do with the shows. A beautiful cast, incredibly talented team. A lot of new faces and new acts and things like that I'm really excited to bring to the forefront.
So I read the press release and it said something that really stood out. Rock and roll vibe representations through the years. Tell me a little bit about what that means for the theme.
Well, so, I don't want to classify it as a rock and roll show because it is not. I tried to, the venue, if you know anything or any research about the venue,
Sure.
It is a bit of a rock vibe centric venue. They have an incredible sound system in there. It's kind of an immersive experience. You're up close to the stage and the audience and things like that, which is great. So it's really in your face. So we are doing, I guess, more or less rock burlesque. But it
makes sense.
Yeah, a high energy show. And what I mean by through the years is, yes, rock and roll is in every bit of music that we have. A lot of times I think, or maybe it's just my age demographic, I think of 80s rock. I'm a huge 80s rock fan, but we didn't want to go that route with the show. So what I did was we have a very, very unique lineup of songs that really show representation of all styles of rock. You've got country rock, you've got, punk rock, you've got dance rock, you've got, the obvious, some 80s rock, classic rock, which really opens up our genre of music to be blues. Rhythm and blues has got rock music and vibes in it and stuff like that. So I was really able to utilize very unique music, which I feel through the show, or find really great differences in music that might not be the original rock song that we all listen to, but now that it's been redone through the years and things like that. And then obviously, controversy with what rock and roll brought to us, going back to Elvis, those days with the controversial hip shaking and all of that stuff that really shook the world, and utilizing that, of course, with all of these beautiful ladies on stage who are going to be doing their thing.
I think it's going to be phenomenal. So anybody who's come to Las Vegas, obviously, in recent years has seen Jennifer Romas on the big billboards, on the cabs, and the advertisements all over. So the question I have for you is, how is this show going to be different than any of your past productions?
I think, I do have a niche of what I bring to the table. It's, of course, going to be sexy. It's, of course, going to be classy. It's, of course, going to have huge amounts of talent performing on that stage every single night, which is great. I really think we're bringing a different style of, if you want to call it rock-esque, to the...
Sure.
I'm keeping the vibe of Vegas, staying true to our Vegas with the glitz and glam. As you can see, I've got sparkles on this morning already, which I think is really important that we kind of keep, a hint of that in our shows, because that's Vegas, that's what we are. It's the glitz and glam, but also bringing a new kind of vibe and energy and really hard hitting, in your face, but fun. We want people to come in there and have a really good time. I'm really excited.
So that, speaking of being a choreographer, what are we going to see from the choreography in this one? Have you thought about some new moves or some new routines that you want to implement into this new Exxcite the Show that's going to be at the Rio?
I absolutely have. We've made a few changes to obviously upgrade the show, utilize different props, which we've had built and that are amazing. So you'll see that on stage. Choreography wise, yeah, I'm completely transparent. This has actually been kind of going back to the getting sexy up and running days where I was injured. I've got, I'm a little bit not myself physically, just with some injuries and things like that. So it's been very difficult for me to choreograph how I normally do, how my body does it. Kind of going back to getting sexy up and running, where it was a struggle to perform and dance with all the knee injuries and stuff like that. So I'm finding right now I'm trying to utilize a different creative side of myself. I've got some incredible girls in the show that have been with me for a little while. Whitney and Abby, who are coming in. I'm using their bodies basically to workshop moves on and things like that. So this has been kind of a change for me as well in terms of how I produce and how I choreograph. I actually am bringing in another choreographer to choreograph one of the dance numbers in the show, which I kind of have not done before, and I think it's kind of fun and interesting. So you will see that we're going to collaborate on one or two numbers in the show. And I'm really excited about that, just to add a bit of different vibe and energy. But yeah, this has been a growing experience as always. Just trying to utilize my strengths differently to get this up and running, and it's a beautiful growing experience.
Well, speaking about that, the month, I'm sure, leading up to the opening of a Las Vegas show, which this is on July 29th, obviously, again at the Dumo Theater at the Rio El Suite Hotel and Casino. What is that like the last couple of weeks before something is opening? Kind of describe it, because I'm sure it's unbelievable.
It is actually, the show is pretty much turnkey, but moving into a new element and a new theater, I was able to do new things, which is always great, and kind of revamp the show to
correct, exactly.
Yes, to definitely make it its own inside this theater, which I literally cannot wait to bring to the forefront. But realistically, so to get the hype going, we had a huge audition, which there was a great turnout for. I have some of my, a few of the girls that I'm working with right now are coming in, but again, we wanted to bring some new energy and new vibe. And this is a very different type of show, so I wanted to have different types of performers, which is great. But going way back to getting the audition up and running, to having some props built and refabricated, and we're doing some changes to the stage as well over there, which is amazing, to really make it fit the show and the show to fit the venue. Then realistically, I go into studio for a few weeks by myself to map the show out, edit music, work on choreography, get costumes together, which I've been doing for the past a few weeks since we got the go button, and then also I start rehearsals with the cast actually on the 6th, and we pretty much go straight through until the 29th. Rehearsals 10 to 5 every day. We're in studio for about a week and a half because the cast is learning new choreography for themselves, and then also for me teaching them. And then we go into venue for about a week, and then we tech for a week, and then we open.
Thank you for giving us the total description of what it's like to put out. I think it's a fascinating explanation, because again, there's only a handful of people in the world who do this kind of stuff,
It's definitely go time. Once we hit that go button, and not only on the creative end on the front side, but on the back side, you're in emails all day long. We're approving marketing. We're doing press releases. We're doing interviews. We're doing things like that.
Yeah, sure.
With the ticket brokers, we're dealing with social media. We're dealing with all of there's a whole bunch that goes to make this happen, and just, hey, let's do a show. So again, working with Pompeii is unbelievable. I really feel this is going to be a great relationship moving forward. They've got quite an array of talent under their umbrella right now too, which is really great.
So what nights every week can people see this?
Right now, we are Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 10 p.m. And, we might add shows from there. We're going to see how it goes, but we are super thrilled and super excited to bring this show to Las Vegas and to all of our fans and things like that, basically nationwide. So we want people to come to the Rio. We want people to experience this incredible showroom and venue. There's a restaurant, there's a coffee shop. It's all kind of all inclusive, and we're excited.
So what does this chapter mean to you? Final question on the new Exxcite the Show being at the Rio.
Oh gosh. It is definitely another chapter in the journey of life, which is great. I'm honestly, just everyone's gone through transition, and, not to talk about COVID, but it was definitely a transition phase for a lot of people, especially entertainment across the board. Things did shut down. Contracts did get, squashed. It was just, it was inevitable. Yeah. And, some really great things came out of that, as well as some challenges. And I really am trying to just look at that. This is a huge growth, for, me personally, in terms of a producer and things like that, opening up another, show inside a major Las Vegas casino, which is, I still kind of pinch myself sometimes. I'm like, wow, this is pretty amazing. This is pretty amazing. I definitely feel blessed. Honestly, I just think this next chapter is about really, growing, personally, business wise, everything. There's always things I'm learning, from people, from my team, from people who I work with and things like that. And this is just, I think it is definitely the next chapter. I'm getting older myself too. So, performing nightly is, I'm aging gracefully, I hope, but performing nightly, really isn't, super realistic, anymore. And I'm really trying to open my doors and, find new doors and pathways to really grow on this end of things, on the production end, on the business end, on the choreography end, for to build the empire. Build the team, and to just put everything I have, as always, into this to make it another successful venture.
Just very simply, the best way to explain this is that if we were going to use professional sports, you were the player, you had your career, now you're the coach coaching the players.
Yeah, it is definitely a transition, but I'm really excited. But
it's still fun because you're right there on the sidelines still.
It is super fun. And honestly, the greatest thing is seeing it come to life.
Well, also you're witnessing what you put together because you're not doing it. So you actually get to experience what it looks like, because you get to stand back and actually say, wow, I put this together. This could be better. This really worked great. Wow, I really did that. I think that's great.
Yeah, it's definitely a different hat to be wearing. And I definitely do view things very differently, as you said. And, my biggest thing is I want the team to have a fun time. Hopefully I can teach somebody something or motivate them or inspire them in some way. And likewise, the team in the show, I really feel what they put out, they're going to get back from our audiences, from our fans, from our friends. And, again, that's really what it's all about. We get to do what we love. It's a lot of work, but we definitely get to do what we love. And to be able to put smiles on people's faces around the world that came and saw us and they liked the show and they had fun, there's nothing better than that.
Well, we're so excited for the next chapter of The Sexy Life. It will begin on July 29th. Exxcite the Show opens at the Duomo Theater at the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino. Jennifer Romas, thank you so much for joining us today on CYInterview. Anything you want in closing?
Just to you and to CY, thank you so very much for continuing to support all of the shows and all of the entertainment, Las Vegas and nationwide. Again, we all need to stick together as a team and keep growing. And I truly appreciate you guys for your continued support. You're amazing.
You're most welcome, Jennifer. You're one of Las Vegas's great stars, and you should always know that.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you for watching today's CY Interview segment from Las Vegas. Please hit the like button and please hit the subscribe button to be updated on all future CY Interview content from Las Vegas and